Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hollywood Hubbies Film Club. This week's episode is part 2 of our review on Chicago. If you haven't already listened to part 1, make sure you go back one episode so you can catch up before diving into this week. So there ends up being a bit of a rivalry now between Velma and Roxie because Velma's unhappy that she's losing the public attention to, new Chicago star Roxie. She tries to convince Roxie to join an act replacing her murdered sister. And the song she performs to convince her is called I Can't Do It Alone. But Roxie is now obviously like more popular than Velma, so she snubs her and, she's enjoying the spotlight.
Yes.
How do you feel about I Can't Do It Alone?
I think that Catherine is working her butt off in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it looks, I get tired looking at it.
Mm-hmm,
I think that she's up, down, around, left, right, center. Like she's all over the place, but it's so cool to watch. Now, if I'm going to say my least favorite costume of the movie, I have to say this outfit that they have Catherine Zeta-Jones in.
Same.
I only say
she looks great.
She looks great. This outfit is doing nothing for her.
What is up with it?
It doesn't look like it's finished.
It actually looks like it's meant for like Best Little Whorehouse in Texas or something more even Western themed. It doesn't fit.
It doesn't, no.
The tassels and everything, like it doesn't fit.
Everything is just, it's working against her. And I don't know what it is. Does it not look finished? To me, it looks like when someone finds a vintage outfit in like a thrift store and puts it on, and you're like, oh, well, it's missing this and it's missing that. Like, it looks like it's incomplete. And I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And it's almost too dark because they also are using, I think, red lighting, and the outfit is red and black. It doesn't work.
No, not at all. This is least favorite. Is this one thing we agree on?
Yeah, so far one thing. No, we've agreed on something.
Okay, cool.
So there's a quick breakaway scene during this where the storyline there's another small sub storyline that's getting crossed into Roxie's main story because a wealthy heiress named Kitty Baxter is arrested for murdering her husband and 2 mistresses. So the press and Flynn instantly like shift their focus over to Kitty because they know that she's going to pull the spotlight and the media attention. Obviously, Roxie is pissed off that the attention's, being pulled away from her. And so thinking on her feet, she quickly gains the media's attention back by claiming that she's pregnant.
Scandalous.
Kitty Baxter, Lucy Liu. That's pretty awesome.
She's a little scene stealer in this.
Right?
I think that she's hilarious. I think I've also read somewhere that this role was offered to Britney Spears. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I read that online. I don't know. I don't have. I think she might have brought that up in her book that she just wrote. I listened to it. I think she said something along the lines of that. But yes, I think that she was offered Go to Hell Kitty.
Very interesting.
But I don't see anybody else playing it besides Lucy Liu.
I know she's awesome in it. I have to say that there's a quick cutaway to Roxie's like lit up sign, like marquee, and it like diminishes. It like blacks out when the attention's being pulled away from her. I think that that's really cool. During this whole pregnancy scene where she's she claimed that she's pregnant, she's getting like a quick checkup by the doctor, who's obviously going to lie and say that yes, I confirm it, she's pregnant. There's a lot of score music being played of Me and My Baby, and for anyone who knows the staged version, Me and My Baby is a great song. There's so much score used. I almost wonder, like, why did they put that much effort into it if they weren't going to have the song?
Well, they're gonna have music in the background anyway, and they
Yeah.
have these songs that they had to cut out for this or that. So it's like, why not? It's gonna be a cool Easter egg for somebody that knows the song and they can
Yeah.
recognize it. But
I wish it was like a bonus song. That would have been cool. So Roxy's husband Amos is continuously being ignored by the press and, basically like the world. He has a meeting with Billy, and to generate more sympathy for Roxy, Billy convinces him that the child isn't in fact his, but it's Casely's. But how does he convince him? Like, is it like wordplay, or because he doesn't really say it, right?
he's moving him along in the conversation, and um he's really spotlighting these certain things, and he's almost answering the questions for him.
Yes, that's right. Because he actually even kind of pushes him in the direction of divorce.
Yes. I think he even says it before he does, and then Amos is like, "Yeah."
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that. He definitely agrees with the whole divorce thing, and he sings Mr. Cellophane. This is Amos's one and only number in the musical. Am I wrong in thinking, is this the only number that's kind of not in Roxy? I can't remember if this is in Roxy's head or not in her head. Like, I know it's not really happening, but I can't remember. Like, is this part of?
I think they get away with it because while he's screaming at her, while she's in the back of the police car, and they're driving, the police car's driving away, and she's looking through the little window, and he's like, "I'm gonna be a father. I'm gonna be a father." Like, you see Roxy's head peeking through the little
Oh, yes,
window.
uh-huh.
So I think they got away with this one, like, by the skin of their teeth, because they're like, well, she saw him, so now
Yes,
she's thinking this
you're
number.
right. It's like the because the squad car is moving her from the hospital
Mhm.
where she got checked out back to the jail.
Yes.
I do remember that now, where she's like kind of, yeah, like peeking through it, and like,
I think
okay,
that was their editing way of
hey,
being
you
like,
know
this
what?
is still in her head.
They had to make it. They had to make it work.
But if you think about it, would she have been really thinking about Amos if he was Mr. Cellophane and nobody knows he's there?
Yeah, possibly not. Maybe.
Yeah. So
That's true.
just something to think about.
I know that there are a lot of opinions on this song because some people find it slow, that it slows down the movie a bit. This is one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite characters. I love it on film, love it on stage. I obviously am a big Joel Grey fan, and Joel played Amos in the revival on Broadway. But yeah, I love the whole tramp style character that Amos is portraying. I think the dance, if any dance is as close to Fosse in this movie, I think that it's Mr. Cellophane.
Mm-hmm.
I think it almost pays a tribute to him in the movie. I
I
feel
could
like it
totally
plays a
see
tribute.
that.
Yeah.
Do people not like this number?
Whenever I've spoke to people, they don't like this number.
That's shocking because, I mean, we just recently went to the movie theater and saw it, but we also just recently saw a touring company do it. And I swear the loudest people were getting, I felt like, was for Amos. I think so many people in the audience like felt for him, and like he was getting so many like, oh, like there was a
Maybe
lot
it
of
works
like,
better on stage.
maybe because I feel like they really, you know, pound in the fact that like he's so forgettable,
Mm-hmm.
and anytime that happens in the musical, I there's like people are audibly like gasping and audibly like, oh, like poor guy, like people really feel bad for him.
Yeah,
And yeah, so that's shocking to hear. Maybe, I mean, like you said, maybe in the movie people have said that more.
probably.
I think that by the last moment, when he's looking up and the camera's like close in on his face, like I could almost get choked up. Like it's so sad. Like
I love
it's
that.
so
I
sad.
know. I love that.
It's it's done so well, and like
Even his last line about Like the actual last line he says
Oh,
about
in The
not taking
Office?
up too much time.
Yeah. But in general, it's really well done, and it's just sad.
Don't cry.
I know, excuse me. Let me get a tissue.
After this, we have some heated meetings between Roxy and Billy. Roxy decides to fire Billy, believing that she can now win this case on her own. However, when Catalina Helensky, who was the Hungarian woman on Murderous Row, the only woman who was actually innocent, she ends up becoming the first woman in Cook County history to be executed by hanging. So after this happens, Roxy quickly realizes like the, situation and rehires Billy. The whole Hungarian disappearing act, boo. Cool, spooky. How do you feel about that? Some people don't like, hanging reenactments. The way that this is done, though, like what are your feelings on this?
Um, well, the way they do it with her getting ready for her act, going up the ladder, jumping, and then them showing the actual her walking up to, get the noose put around her neck and everything. I think that so far in the movie, this is one of the most intense and jarring scenes that they have shown, and it almost kind of knocks the audience back into reality. Like, this is such a fun, like, the songs are fun, the scenes are fun, and then it kind of knocks you back into reality. Like, we're talking about women who are on death row,
Right?
like,
It definitely is like an adrenaline kick, and the cutting back and forth between the dream state of Roxy and like the real world, it's so fast paced during this.
yeah.
Soon after this, Roxy's trial begins, and Flynn turns it into a media spectacle with the help of the newspaper reporters and the radio personality who is Mary Sunshine. He performs Razzle Dazzle, and Flynn basically discredits the witnesses, manipulates the evidence, stages a public reconciliation between Amos and Roxy when she basically claims that the child she has is, in fact, Amos's.
Mm-hmm.
Razzle Dazzle.
Well, before I get into my disdain for Razzle Dazzle, not really disdain, but this is my restroom break song. I do want to point out the scene before they go into the courtroom, because I do think it's another really cool Roxy scene. After um, Catalina Helinsky is hanged, and she's dressed up. She's got her ball of yarn, and she's ready to knit, and she really kind of like, I don't want to say breaks character, but Roxy's always so on, and this is like her one moment of vulnerability where she's kind of showing how scared she is. Like, and I just thought that was a really cool scene because you really get to see the real Roxy, and like, she's not playing make believe in her head, or she's not pretending to be like this big star. Like, she admits how scared she is before they walk into the courtroom, and I think it's a really, really cool scene of Renee Zellweger. Like,
is it an Oscar award winning scene?
It is, and I don't want to talk about that. But yes, Razzle Dazzle. It's very pretty to look at. I've never really been the biggest fan of the song.
Yeah, I know you're bored here during this part of the movie, and I think you did get up to go to the restroom during Razzle Dazzle. I like Razzle Dazzle more than All I Care About, and I think for you it's flipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on from Razzle Dazzle, the trial is basically going well for Roxy until Mama and Velma are listening to the trial and find Roxy's diary. Velma then is called to court as a witness to read incriminating entries in exchange for amnesty in her own case.
Mm-hmm. And to tie this in a little bit to what we were talking about with Mr. Cellophane, they recorded the song Class for this scene where Mama and Velma are talking about the court case, and before Mama brings out the diary, they recorded and filmed the song Class, and I believe it is not in the movie because how could it be in Roxy's head? Because she's in court. She's not going to see the two of them sitting there singing this song Class. So
I've thought about that, and I thought the only way that I could have possibly have seen it happen is if Velma was on stand and Roxy was looking at her like Roxy was looking at her reading through the diary entries, and she had this make believe like flashback to her and Mama like finding the diary and like, gossiping about it. That's the only thing that I possibly could. But yeah, I guess, I mean, obviously it didn't work because they cut it out of the film.
it is a cool scene. I know they have it as an extra that you can watch.
Yeah, and at least it's a bonus track too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely really cool. Because Queen only gets one number. She only gets one performance.
I know. It is a bummer that
They have such a talented singer. And
well, she did so well with her one number.
and she does get to perform at the Oscars, I think, right?
Yes, they performed the credit song.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, which is also a great song. That's a good
Yes.
bonus song.
Which is supposed to be Catherine and Renee, but Renee did not perform at the Oscars. I don't know why. I think she was nervous.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
One other thing before we move on. Velma, she's on the stand. She's a witness for the case. They talk about all of her charges being dropped because she's the witness in this case. Is that legal?
Obviously, you can make deals and you can make plea bargains to get out of situations. I mean, people are put into the witness protection program to not go to prison. They give up information about somebody else or a crime boss or somebody that's more important than they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, does it happen? It absolutely happens. Is this situation? I don't know. I mean, for murder, I don't really know.
Yeah. It's a good question. Anybody who's listening to this, and if they know the law, please comment.
Yeah, and like, can you like gloat about it in court?
I don't know.
It is a cool scene though. I do like that she gloats about it when she's like, "I'm not a complete idiot." Of course, I'm getting something out of this. So Flynn discredits the diary, implying that it's legal jargon and that somebody else must have written it, and maybe it was District Attorney Harrison who actually like wrote it and planted it as evidence. And he does this little tap dance number. I don't think that the tap dance number is that necessary in the movie. I do think that it's cool on stage, but I think it could have been probably cut. I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, even if you're not wowed by the tap number, I think that the music and the score of it went so well with the legal tap dance of him trying to get her out of this situation, and like all of the tap noises and the clacking and
I feel like it has
the orchestration worked well.
I feel like it serves its purpose more on stage, but we're not here to talk about that, even though we've made so many comparisons.
Sounds like we are.
I know, right? So Roxy is acquitted. Her fame is quickly eclipsed because moments later, there's another woman out on the steps of the courthouse who ends up shooting her husband. Wait, did she already shoot her husband? But then, like, she shoots her lawyer. It's a little bit confusing at the end.
Yeah, are there two bodies?
I think there's only one, but the way they talk about it like it's a double murder. So maybe she had already killed her husband, but then she was on trial and then kills the lawyer too.
Maybe it was her divorce hearing, so the husband was there and her lawyer was there.
Okay, let's go with that.
Maybe she got a raw deal.
Let's go with that.
She was like, F you and F you.
Yeah, I think that works better because it is very quick and just, I mean, it just moves the scene along. The whole point is that Roxy's stardom and attention like diminishes. And Flynn admits to Roxy that he was the one that tampered with the diary himself in order to incriminate the DA and to get Roxy off the hook and also Velma off the hook. So it's like, to like what
He got his $5,000 from each.
Yeah, more bang for your buck. Amos remains loyal the whole time, is excited at the end, tells Roxy that he's so excited to be the father of the baby, and Roxy, of course, cruelly reveals that she had faked her pregnancy the whole time.
It's so mean.
It is very mean. She's not a nice girl.
No, it is funny though, because when you're watching the movie, like, you are rooting for these characters and you kind of go like, why are we rooting for them? Like, they're horrible people.
You're rooting for them?
I mean, anytime you have somebody who's the main character of a movie, a lot of the times you're going like, oh, is she gonna get up? Is she gonna get away with it? Is she not gonna get away with it? Like, you are
Got
like
it.
excited and you are kind of rooting for them. But yeah, she's so mean to him in the scene. She doesn't
Don't tell me who I'm rooting for. I'm only rooting for Amos in this movie.
Well, I mean, I am too, because I think after watching that, I think that he definitely is too good for her. He's been put through the ringer in this whole situation, and he does not. Sure. Roxy does not deserve a man like Amos, and she's so. It's hilarious to watch this because she's so delulu that she would rather be famous than be off and able to not be in prison. Like, she's free, but she's like, well, now I'm free and I'm not famous.
I know. It is delusional.
It's funny.
We kind of slip into that delusion because she obviously wants to continue to pursue some sort of a vaudeville career, and the scene breaks away from the courthouse into her dream song of Nowadays. I think there's a bit of a time jump here. I don't know how much of a time jump, but they do a bit of a time jump with this whole Nowadays number.
Yeah, I think they start it while she's in the courtroom singing, and then once the light kind of dims on her face, then we go into her now auditioning to be in this show.
Yeah.
So there has to have been some time between the court case and her auditioning to be in a show and not getting it.
I do love Nowadays, and I know you do too. Beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
The black dress that she's wearing is not one of my favorite costumes.
Wait, the Nowadays dress?
Yeah, not one of my favorites.
Wow.
I don't think it fits the character. I actually don't really picture Roxy in black like ever when I think about her. And I think even on the movie poster, they put her in black, and I never understood why they did that. Because
well, they fixed it for the DVD, didn't they? Didn't they have? I think in some of the DVDs or the Blu-rays.
We are Googling it right now.
I think they have half white, half black. Like,
yeah, is it Velma in white?
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. They got it wrong.
I know. That's what I'm telling you.
But yeah, to talk about the Nowadays.
Look, doesn't make any sense. Velma's like in Roxy's outfit. I know. I never understood it.
I don't like that.
I know. I've been not liking it since 2003.
I mean, honestly, Roxy was only in that little black number for 3 seconds when she dreamed herself into all that jazz. But yes, Nowadays is another song where I think that Renee's voice sounds very pretty.
Oh,
like, it's very beautiful.
You know what? I think actually this is probably the best that she sounds vocally. I know you chose Roxy. I'm going to say that vocally, I think she sounds the best for Nowadays. Because I'm a vocal. I'm kidding. I'm not at all. But yeah.
Interesting.
So yes, like you had said earlier, it's like lights up on this audition that she's having in the real world, no longer dream state Roxy. So in the real world, it comes up on like this vaudeville audition that she's doing, and the, similarly unsuccessful Velma, appears, reapproaches Roxy and suggests that, they should perform and act together because, two criminals are better than one and they can sell more tickets this way. And Roxy, initially like refuses, but later she accepts when Velma points out that they can basically like not only make a ton of money, but that even though they have a mutual resentment of each other and don't like each other,
hate each other.
That's showbiz and it doesn't really matter.
Before we go into this number, we should also shout out, we've gone through this whole movie and not really talked about Taye Diggs. He's in so many numbers and he does so many introductions, and he's in this Nowadays audition.
Oh, he actually has like a regular line during this part. So it's probably good that you brought him up now.
Yeah.
Because he actually does like communicate with them and doesn't just introduce the songs.
Yeah, his voice is in the movie so much with his introductions, and they do show him in certain numbers playing the piano. And like, what a cool little,
it is fun, especially because on stage it's different characters that introduce different songs throughout the musical. It is cool that they created this piano man MC to introduce all of the musical numbers.
Yeah. And why not Taye Diggs? Another...
I know, and he looks great.
Oh yeah, he's
great style for him. The 1920s style looks so good on him.
Oh, I was gonna say he looks sexy.
No, I think that I was saying. I mean that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, the style he looks great. So the two of them go into this whole performance of it goes from Nowadays into what is known as the Hot Honey Rag. They end up performing in front of this large crowd, and they receive these standing ovations, and the audience is just like going crazy. And in the audience we see glimpses of Billy Flynn and Mama Morton and all of the jurors and all of the murderous, like it's just like a big like montage of all of these familiar faces that are out there.
It's a very interesting audience.
So I am there. This is delusional, right? This is all a dream, right? I never understood this last part.
I don't know how many people believe that they really like succeeded and got like this act and this sold out huge act, but like from the first time I saw this movie, I 100% thought this was in Roxy's head. I mean, I do know that when it gets to the very end of the scene, you do see similar to the beginning of the movie where they kind of take you into Roxy's eyes. At the end, when they're doing all of the flashes of the camera, you see flashes of Roxy's face.
That's right.
And to me, that's signifying that like we are in Roxy's head again. Like that's
right.
This is how she sees the act and how it could go. I don't think they're there yet. I think that she likes the idea and like she's intrigued by what Velma's telling her, and she's imagining how big it could be. I do not think that they made it.
I just wanted to make sure I was not going crazy on my end, because I did think it was just delusional, and she's just thinking that this is how big we can be, even
100%.
Even though they might not sell any tickets.
I think they would sell tickets.
I wish that Velma at least, I mean, I of course wanted her in black at the end of this movie, but I wish at least her fur was black that she was dancing with, but whatever. It's just...
You really love this whole Velma black,
yeah,
Roxy white.
I feel like that's the way it should be styled. They should just be styled that way. That's my opinion.
I do also point this out to you, I think, every single time we watch the movie, and I don't think you ever see it, but the lipstick on Renee Zellweger's tooth during this scene.
Oh, yeah,
there's one little tiny little clip where they're performing, and it's a shot semi close up, I guess, and you see this red lipstick on Renee's tooth, and I just go, how did this get past everybody who was editing this scene with this big red lipstick tooth? It always makes me laugh.
People are going to watch it now just to make sure that they catch that scene.
Well, it's there.
The ending credits of this movie always make me want to watch the movie over again, because I do love the original song "Move On" that they wrote for it. It's just I don't know. I think it's cool that it pays tribute to other songs that may have been cut out of the movie, because there is a really great song that's in the stage version called My Own Best Friend. And I think that this is at least a cool duet that Velma and Roxy get to sing. That's, you know, like a nod to the fact that like they don't have another duet
Hmm.
that's in the movie. But I do love Move On. I think it's a great song. I listened to that soundtrack, of course, a ton when it first came out. I know you did too.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's a great number.
Is there a specific song that you wish they would have shot for the movie that you
Well,
think could have fit?
Well, I don't think that My Own Best Friend would work. It is great on stage, but I don't know if that would work. I think Me and My Baby was probably one of the biggest bummers. I think that possibly could have worked.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, while all this is happening and all of this
Yeah.
media coverage, like why couldn't we have gone into Roxy's head and she's having
Yeah.
this little hat and cane number?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I think that could have worked. That's probably the one that stands out the most.
I could see that for sure.
Or perhaps Mary Sunshine's song. I mean, they know Christine Baranski can sing, so it is possible that Roxy could have had a little bit of a daydream with a little good in everything. Is that a little bit of good in everything? Yeah, that could have also worked. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's necessary though. That's probably why they
No,
didn't have it. But that could have worked. I'm gonna say Me and My Baby. How about you? Same? Well, you love that song on stage.
no, that song is really great. I know you said it wouldn't work, but I do love My Own Best Friend. Not just the ones that are from the musical, but there are other great like recordings of it. Like I know that there's the Liza Minnelli has a really good solo recorded version of that song that's so good.
What was your overall favorite thing like about this movie?
It's just so beautiful to look at, and I don't I don't think that there's a weak link in the entire cast. I think that everyone that they cast in their roles are great in their roles, vocally, acting wise. Like there is not one person that I go like, oh, why were they cast? Like everyone in this movie is so good.
Even the small roles, like Lucy Liu has this small cameo role and she's great in it.
Totally. So yeah, cast wise, it's they did their thing with casting. They picked the right people, I feel. Um yeah, I just think that I said it earlier, but
Yeah.
it's so fast paced. I don't feel like there's a slow moment in the even if it's a song that I may not like, I don't think that it slows it down. It's just
So is this your favorite thing about it? Or is cast your favorite thing about it?
can't I have multiple things?
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie.
It's pretty close to perfect.
It is a perfect movie, and I can have multiple on my list.
Like I had like five best
So
costumes.
yes, how about that? Casting perfection, editing perfection because it is quick.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like the time
Mm-hmm.
that it really is.
Good answers, boo.
So what's your favorite thing about the movie?
I love Candor and Ebb Fosse. I think Rob Marshall did an amazing job with so many components of this, but I think that the cinematography is stellar.
Hmm.
Visually, I could watch this movie on mute and I would still just be blown away by how beautiful it all
Hmm.
comes together. So I'm going to say that cinematography is my favorite thing about it. I think that they did a great job paying homage to movie musicals like Cabaret. And
Totally.
I, yeah, cinematography, that's my favorite.
Good answer.
What's your least favorite thing about this movie? If you had one thing to say, what's your least favorite thing about
The lipstick tooth. I'm just kidding. Gosh, that's so hard. Mm,
I think our least favorite thing about this movie is simply because, like, it's simply the fact that they can't fit all of the songs into the movie that
mhm.
we love so much from stage. And so I think if there's one thing that you and I are always like, man, what a bummer, it's just the fact that we do love the stage version so much,
Mhm.
and we wish that those songs were in this film. That's probably the only thing I can think of that you and I have ever said negative about this movie.
I guess that's you're right. The cut songs.
I know we always talk about a bit about what impact this movie had on, culture or us or cinema. I definitely feel that it kickstarted this wave of movie musicals being cool again. I
Mhm.
think that both Chicago and Moulin Rouge had a
Yes.
big impact on cinema being able to take a chance and make musicals again. And Chicago
Totally.
and Moulin Rouge are two very different types of movie musicals. And I think that we were able to have something so successful be very classic in style, like Chicago. Like
Mhm.
I at least have a nod back to a classic, spectacular movie musical.
Spectacular, spectacular
See,
from Moulin
because
Rouge.
I was talking about Moulin Rouge. But yeah, I think that it was definitely influential to say that, hey, movie musicals can be cool again, you guys.
Yeah, I think that with the movie musical renaissance, I guess, Moulin Rouge walked so that Chicago could run.
Yeah.
Because it was the first one in a long time. The next, oh, what rights can we buy up to what musical?
Right?
Like, what do we need to get from the stage to film? And it really has never stopped.
Yeah, it hasn't. In fact, it's bled into other areas like being on live television. They've done live musicals on some
Mm-hmm.
TV shows and or on some networks. And they've been able to, obviously now with all these streaming networks, they're able to produce them a lot faster.
All right. So that wraps up our review on Chicago. I felt like that went so quick. I think we were just so excited to talk about this movie that I feel like it went really quick. It probably wasn't.
No, I agree. No, I felt it too. I felt like the pacing was our pacing was just as successful as Chicago's pacing.
Wow.
Let's spin this wheel so that we can generate what movie is going to be on next week's episode.
All right. So the next film that we will be doing is going to be Guys and Dolls.
Okay, so this Guys and Dolls will be the 1955 version with Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra.
And Vivian Blaine.
All right, everyone. So we will catch you on our next episode.
Remember to watch the movie.
It's more fun that way.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.